Hi there. We're in day 297 of our Through the Bible in 1 Year. A very short reading today. It's John 9, 1 through 10, 9, 1 through 10, 21. Just barely a chapter and a half. They're trying to keep the subject matter together in this reading, so it makes more sense. So let's read this real quick. Jesus heals a man born blind. As he passed by, he saw a man blind from birth, and his disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, It was not that this man sinned or his parents, but that the works of God might be displayed in him. We must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Having said these things, he spit on the ground and made mud with saliva. Then he anointed the man's eyes with the mud and said to him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which means sent. So he went and washed and came back seeing. The neighbors and those who had seen him before as a beggar were saying, Is this not the man who used to sit and beg? Some said, It is he. Others said, No, it is, but he is like him. He kept saying, I am the man. So they said to him, And how are your eyes open? He answered, The man called Jesus made mud and anointed my eyes and said to me, Go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed and received my sight. They said to him, Where is he? He said, I do not know. They brought to the Pharisees a man who had formerly been blind. Now it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the mud and opened his eyes. Of course it was. So the Pharisees again asked him how he had received his sight, and he said to them, He put mud on my eyes, and I watched and see. Some of the Pharisees said, This man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath. But others said, How can a man who is a sinner do such signs? And there was a division among them. So they said again to the blind man, What do you say about him since he opened your eyes? He said, He is a prophet. The Jews did not believe that he had been blind and received his sight until they called the parents of the man who had received his sight and asked them, Is this your son who you say was born blind? How then does he now see? The parents answered, We know that this is our son and that he was born blind. But how he now sees we do not know, nor do we know who opened his eyes. Ask him, he is of age, he will speak for himself. His parents said these things because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had already agreed that if anyone confessed Jesus to be Christ, he was to be put out of the synagogue. Therefore his parents said, He is of age, ask him. Right. So for the second time they called the man, who had been blind, and said to him, Give glory to God. We know that this man is a sinner. He answered, Whether he is a sinner I do not know. One thing I do know is to know that, though I was blind, now I see. I said to him, What did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? He answered him, I have told you already, and you would not listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you also want to become his disciples? And they reviled him, saying, You are his disciple, but we are disciples of Moses. Right? We know that God has spoken to Moses, but as for this man, we do not know where he comes from. The man answered, Why is this an amazing thing? You do not know where he comes from, and yet he opened my eyes. We know that God does not listen to sinners, but if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, God listens to him. Never since the world began has it been heard that anyone opened the eyes of a man born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing. They answered him, You were born in utter sin. How could you teach us? And they cast him out. Of course they did. Yeah, Jesus heard that they cast him out, and having found him, he said, Do you believe in the Son of Man? He answered, And who is he, sir, that I may believe in him? Jesus said to him, You have seen him, and it is he who is speaking to you. He said, Lord, I believe, and he worshipped him. Jesus said, For judgment I came into this world, and those who do not see may see, and those who see may become blind. Some of the Pharisees near heard these things and said to him, Are we also blind? Jesus said to them, If you were blind, you would have no guilt. But now that you say we see, your guilt remains. There you go. Okay, chapter 10. I'm truly the good shepherd. Truly, truly, I say to you. Okay, now when he says things twice, there's a rule of threes in the ancient language. They didn't have words like good, better, best, superior. It was really, okay, this is really important, which is important, Really, really important. That's the most it can be. Okay, that's the most important. This is the most important thing he says. And the King James has said, verily, verily. Okay, which means this is the most important statement you need to listen to. 3 times, really, 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 or truly, 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 can only be used when talking about Yahweh himself. Okay, just a little side note there. So, truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs in another way, that man is a thief and a robber. But he who enters by the door is a shepherd of the sheep. To him the gatekeeper opens. The sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. A stranger they will not follow, but they will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers. This figure of speech Jesus used with them, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. Really. Jesus again said to them, truly, truly, there it is again, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who come before me are thieves and robbers. But the sheep did not listen to them. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He who is a hired hand and not a shepherd, who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches them and scatters them. He flees because he's a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And I have other sheep that are not in this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. Is that us? Huh? So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up again. This charge I have received from my Father. Right? Nobody could have killed him if he did not let them. Okay? There was again division among the Jews because of these words. Many of them said, he has a demon and is insane. Why listen to him? Others said, these are not the words of the one who is oppressed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? So, there you go. That was a short day. Some days are short, some days are long. Like I said, they're trying to keep the subject matter all together. What are you doing tomorrow? Yeah, see? And tomorrow we'll be reading a lot, okay? Luke 10 and 11 and John 10, 20 verses in that one. So, there you have it. That was an easy one today, for a Wednesday. It's day 297, I think I said. Yeah, 297. So, you go, give us a like if you think about it. Catch up on any you may have missed. The New Testament started on September 30th, just so you know. You can go back to that day. Okay, if you want to just read the whole New Testament. So, there you go. Till next time, we'll keep reading. See ya.